Okay folks, welcome back to the Long Dark Faithful Cartographer part number 2, and we are pretty much exactly where we left off. Anyway, I have just nipped into the bedroom and slept just for an hour just to save the game, but other than that, we are exactly where we were. We're in the coastal house on Coastal Highway that I tend to use as my base. This is going to be our base camp. Where we're going to bring all of our loot. We haven't really looted this building since I got here, though. We are quite hungry, but we're going to worry about that one later. Yeah, let's get going with our looting and carry on with Faithful Cartographer. Just trying to get the hang of a few of these interface changes. I'm liking the new graphical changes, though, I have to say. Some pork and beans down there, I think. Have those. A baseball cap. I don't think that's gonna. Well, I don't think we've got anything on our head at the moment, so actually that might not be a bad thing. I'm going to come and sort of fire out in a minute for two reasons. One, we could probably do with some water, and two, we want to get some charcoal, so we're going to have a go with these maps, and that's where you get the charcoal from. So that's kind of what we're aiming to do today. I think is to start establishing our base here. And
I could use this.
Decent driving gloves. I'm not sure if I'm wearing any gloves at the moment, actually. I need to sort my clothing out. We'll have a look at that in a sec. Have I? No, I've missed all these cupboards over this side. Yeah, so we're going to start establishing our base camp, get ourselves set up for long-term survival in the sandbox. So we're going to go around Coastal Highway, loot as much as we possibly can, bring it all back here, set this up as our base camp, start thinking about maybe collecting some hides and things that we might be able to start crafting clothing and things with, and then we might have a loop over to one of the other regions. I might actually go to Desolation Point, because I haven't been to Desolation Point for quite some time, because I haven't really been anywhere near Coastal Highway, so I'm going to be interested to head over to Desolation Point and see what we can get from over there. There isn't very much over there, but obviously there is the forge, so if we are a bit short of tools by that point, we can always make use of the forge. It's one advantage of starting fairly close to or on Desolation Point. Just going through all the drawers, all the cupboards, see what's what, and the answer is not a fat lot, to be perfectly honest with you. Not got very much out of any of this. Grape soda, we'll have that. And water we can have from the toilet cistern, obviously. Oops, I'm still getting used to this having to hold the button down. Okay, there we go. You're going to have to forgive me. I still have the cold that I had in part 1, and in fact, if anything, it's got worse, so I'm even snifflier. Right, okay, well, we've pretty much gone through the whole building then. We've not got a massive amount from it, but we've got some stuff. So let's start establishing our base. So into the fridge then. And we'll go into our food stash. Now, we haven't really got enough food to justify putting any of it in the fridge, to be perfectly honest, at this point, so we won't worry too much about that, actually, to be fair. But I will start thinking about a water supply in a minute. So let's, have we got any tools and equipment that we can drop? Oh, actually, let's sort this clothing out while I'm here. So we've got a thick wool sweater and a thin wool sweater and a dress shirt. Obviously, the thick wool sweater is going to give us the best thing. We have our plaid shirt, our thin wool sweater, and that dress shirt. So in many ways, the thin wool sweater gives us a better, it certainly gives us better warmth, but not as much wind resistance and protection as everything else. So, I don't know actually. I'm tempted to go with the, I think I'll stick with the shirt actually. We'll stick with the shirt. Hands, I am wearing fleece mittens. The driving gloves are better, so we're going to swap those round. My shoes are very, very wet. I am wearing a single pair of socks. I have another pair of socks, so let's put those on. So we're now wearing 2 pairs of socks. My trousers are very, very wet. That's my outer layer and my inner layer, and I can wear 2 of them. Oh, I like the fact it's now got these layers on here, so you can easily determine what layer it is that you're actually wearing. And as for our head, well, we have a baseball cap. So we're going to put it on because it's better than not wearing anything, even if it looks a bit stupid. Okay, so let's drop back into this, which we're actually aiming for. So we can drop that flare that we accidentally set off. Didn't mean to. Fire starting kit, we've got an awful lot of matches. Don't need to be carrying all of those, so let's drop some of them. That'll do us. This we need to harvest down into tinder plugs. So a little bit of housekeeping to get us started, I think, this one. Harvest that down into tinder plugs. So there we go. I think. Oh, we had 2 of them. I didn't realise we had 2 of them. Okay, we'll do another one. There we go. So that gives us a whole load of tinder plugs. So that's good. Okay, we're doing okay with those. We'll hang on to those. Clothing, we're wearing everything. Oh, no, we're not. Actually, we can drop that. And we can drop that. May pick them up and put them in the cupboard in a minute. I'm just getting an idea. Got a load of stones. Whetstone we don't need to be carrying around with us. We can get rid of that. Lantern fuel we may as well... we do actually have a lantern. How much fuel has that got in it? I think it might be best to refuel that. Simply because it just gets rid of that extra item. Just makes it a little bit easier at this point. And there we are. So, okay. So, that's interesting. Bandages are appearing in both. Right, okay. So we now have, I've just noticed a little button. Add to radial. Does that only apply to, I think that applies to, okay, so that applies to first aid supplies. I can actually add them to the radial, so I can access them directly from the radial menu. Interesting. Right, okay, so let's get ourselves a fire started. I only have carbon matches, tinder plug. And interestingly, I've forgotten to pick up sticks. I haven't picked up any sticks. I only have fire. Oh, can I? Oh, okay. I can take charcoal from the fireplace. That's kind of cool. Survey. Okay, I can't map indoors. I've got to go outside. So let's head outside. When I'm holding my charcoal in my hand, this is the map. Oh, there we go. Hey, that's cool. Okay, so it's only mapped a relatively small section of the world, but we've got the coastal house, which is where we are, the burnt out house, which is in front of us, the cedar limb that's ahead of us, somewhere. Oh, yeah, just there. Interestingly, it hasn't put. Oh, unless it hasn't put that house on there, which is quite interesting. That's kind of cool. Okay. Let's get back inside before we freeze to death. So there we go. First go with the mapping system, which I assume will get better as we have more charcoal and can draw more maps. We can head
stomach is eating itself.
Further afield. Okay, so yeah, we need water. I need to make some water, and I do need some food, and I do need to just get myself organised a little bit. So I've got some clothing here, which I have boo-booed. I normally put that in a cupboard, but I have just dropped it on the floor. I have a whetstone. I'm going to pop that up on the table. I have a flare, which I'm going to pop on the table as well. Matches, I'll pop on the shelf. There we are. Okay, cool. So we've started to establish ourselves. Let's see if we can get this fireplace lit then. So we've got cardboard matches, tinder plugs, and fur fibres. Let's start a fire, hopefully. Obviously, we've only just started with this character, so our skills are fairly low.
Come on.
I was used to them being quite high, but obviously now they're a lot lower. So hopefully we can get this thing lit. I haven't got any sticks. Come on. It's usually a good sign if it makes it this far around that little loading thing. Oh no, just as I said that, we lose it. Okay, we'll just try that again. I haven't got any accelerant either. It's odd, normally you do start with accelerant, but we haven't got any, so we're gonna have to try this the old-fashioned way. Keeping an eye on the clock. Come on. Oh no! This is getting ridiculous. Fortunately, you only lose the tinder in the match. You don't lose the firewood. So let's keep going. See if we can light this thing the third time. Third time lucky. Get this fire to light. Once we've got this lit, I'm hoping it will dry our clothes out. We can also make some water, which we can stash here before we pop across the road. I'm probably going to head to the gas station next. Go and loot the gas station, see what we can find in there. I'll have a quick look at the clock. Now, I haven't moved me as yet, so we're still blocking the little... There we go. So we've got ourselves a fire. I'm just going to chuck a piece of reclaimed wood on there, and then we can start making some water. I'm going to go for 2 litres and hope they've not changed how long it takes. There we go, that's done the trick, and then we can boil that 2 litres. That gives us 2 litres of water. We're getting a bit tired now. We're nice and warm. And hopefully that's dried us out as well. Let's do another half a litre. According to our little clock, we are mid-afternoon at the moment. Let's boil this half a litre. And we've now got ourselves a good stash of water. So, let's go and drop our water. I tend to put it in the freezer. Obviously, it's not a real freezer, so it's not going to freeze it, but it separates it out so I know where it all is. So let's transfer that. 3 litres of water stashed away. Okay, so let's make our way over to the gas station then and go and see what we can find. Probably a wolf with big sharp pointy teeth knowing my look. But here we are. Oh, there you are. There's one. Okay, let's head out then. Head out of our base onto the road. Anything around? Not that's obviously visible. I thought I'd go for the gas station because I'm hoping it stands the best chance of having decent loot in it. Lots of stones. There's lots of stones around in the environment, I've noticed. So I'm going to pick them up. I don't know how to then use them. Do they count as weapons? Oops. I'm pressing all the wrong buttons. There we go. That's how you do it. Oh, okay. Right. Cool. Aim. Fire. Okay, that's cool. Awesome. Okay, at least we know what to do with those. So they're the stones. That's one of the new things that's been introduced in Faithful Cartographer. You can throw stones at things now. Let's put that away. It's also popping the fact that you press H to stash things up on the screen now, which is quite useful because I used to forget that you could do that. So that's a reminder. We've got some decent food here. We've got some wooden matches. That's pretty cool. Let's pop a... I've got a storm lantern, so let's get the thing lit. Okay, there we go. So we can look into the corners, make sure we don't miss anything. Cardboard box we could break down for tinder. I'll probably do that on the way out, because tinder obviously right now is a bit short supply. Ooh. Who keeps beef jerky in a cash register? Anyway. Well, there's plenty of cans of drink in the fridge. One of my biggest annoyances with these fridges is that the doors don't open very far. That's always annoyed me a little bit. In real life, that would swing all the way open. So, Hinterland, if you're watching, please make your fridge doors open a bit further. As they would in real life. But we've got plenty of soda from this, which is good. A couple of flares there. More cardboard boxes that we can break down for tinder. We can take water from the toilet. I don't want to know where it's coming from, because this toilet doesn't have a cistern. We can search this locker. We can't. Oops. We can search. I'm going to hold the button now. Ooh. Okay. Hang on to it. We can't open that one because I don't have a pry bar at the moment. So, come back to it. Medicine cabinet. What we get? Water purification. That's handy. And sewing kit. Anything else? We have wilderness kitchen, which we can research. So we'll keep that one for researching. That's kind of cool. Okay. So it's the workshop area. A fire striker, that's a good find. That's a pretty good find, that is. Potentially very useful. Anything in the drawer? another sewing kit. And obviously we've got workbenches in here, so if we need to do any work, they might be better than driving gloves. And quality tools as well, awesome. Well, quality tools I'll probably leave over here, because I don't see the point in taking them back to the other building, because, well, there's no workbench in it. The workbench is here. So, let's find those there quality tools. It's going to be over here in tools somewhere. There we go, and drop them, and we'll pop them up on the workbench. Okay, what we got going on over the other side then? A pry bar.
Getting kind of thirsty.
Okay, we'll go back to that. And some more antibiotics and another bandage. And there's a hacksaw there as well. I haven't missed that for anyone who thinks I have. Whoops. Need to do that. We'll just have a quick look at that though, because I think that's changed. Let's just pick up that hacksaw. It has changed. In the crafting table, you can now a little bit more easily see the different crafting items. So these are things that we can craft, I believe, without needing a workbench. So we can craft these things without needing a workbench. Fairly obvious stuff. Newsprint, into tinder plugs, fishing tackle, bandages, torches, things like that. These things we need a workbench for, so that's arrows, bows, the various animal skin clothing, which obviously is always a target that we set ourselves. Lines, snares, hooks, things. And these ones, presumably, we need a forge. So that's an arrowhead, an improvised knife, and a improvised hatchet. We need the forges for those, which obviously is Desolation Point. And there is one in Forlorn Muskeg as well. Which they put there because, well, there's no other reason to go into Forlorn Muskeg otherwise. To be perfectly frank with you, there's nothing else in Forlorn Muskeg. Which is why I haven't really been in there. We've got some rifle cartridges under the bed. Haven't got a rifle as yet though, so that's no good. Fire barrel, obviously. Let's have a quick nosy through the filing cabinet. Normally I do set myself up here. This is normally my base. But the problem with this is the wolves tend to frequent a bit more around the gas stations, so you tend to find that you walk out into the jaws of a wolf far more easily, or you get trapped in here, or you have to make a dart in here, whatever. I don't tend to notice that quite so much at the coastal house, so that's why I'm tending to use the coastal house. Some more quality tools. Well, we can pop those quality tools on the other workbench, so there's a set over there as well. There we go. We have another rifle cartridge, another whetstone, and a bedroll, which is always useful to have a spare bedroll. Which ones I searched? I don't think I searched any over here, did I? Let's have a quick nosy through, see what we got. Not a fat lot. Oh, it's just starting to rain in real life. I could hear a sort of loud pattering noise outside. I've just realised it's absolutely chucking it down. I was trying to figure out whether that was in real life or in the game, and it is actually in real life. It's just started to rain. Which is a shame in many ways, because I had some photography plans for the last 2 days, and the weather's not been very good. So I've ended up not really doing them, which was a bit of a shame. I've ended up with 2 days of sitting around and not being able to do what I wanted to do. I did a bit of photography practice yesterday, though. Oh, magnifying lens, excellent. We can light fires outside with that. I did a bit of studio photography practice yesterday and a bit of research into possible studio locations that I might be able to hire to make use of to do a bit of studio photography. And I actually have another YouTube channel, which is a Photography Bloke channel, which at the moment's only got a few videos on there, and I haven't updated it for quite a long time. Yeah, don't worry about that. For quite a long time, but I am planning on doing some videos over on that channel as well. So that's what I'm kind of been researching, as well as this one. And doing some videos for my girlfriend as well, so it's been busy the last few weeks. And then I've got to pick a cold up, which has made life a little bit harder. Right, okay, so I think we've pretty much got everything from the gas station, so let's make our way out of the gas station and back across to our base camp, and we'll ditch everything. Haven't looked at the clock. We are mid-afternoon. I thought that was a bear then, that rock. It made me jump a bit, I will admit. I keep forgetting you can't jump in this game. You used to be able to kind of do a little hop many moons ago when the game first came out, before the radial menu was introduced, you could do like a little bunny hop with the space bar that did kind of get you over obstacles, but obviously you can't do that anymore. Okay, so we have obviously got the other coastal house there, which may actually be the one that was featuring in the... No, I don't think it was. So that coastal house, for whatever reason, is not on the map that we just drew. It could be that we couldn't see it from our location. From where we were standing, it was hidden. I don't know. I'm not entirely sure how it all works. Okay, there we are. So, we can actually probably extinguish this now. Completely forgot about that. I also forgot to break down those cardboard boxes, didn't I? But that doesn't really matter too much. Right, okay, so let us have a sort through what we have and what we can drop. So, sewing kits, we can drop 2 of those. Storm lantern, whichever one has got the least amount of fuel in, we shall drop. Although we'll have to pick it up again in order to put it down, which is really annoying. Hacksaw we will drop. We'll only take that one if we absolutely need it. Spare bedroll we will drop. Oh, we actually have 2 more bits of charcoal. Okay, cool. I didn't realise. I thought we only had that one piece and we'd used it. We've actually got 2 more bits, so that's cool. We can do a bit more mapping. Lantern fuel will drop. Whetstone will drop. We'll hang on to that for the moment. Bits of cloth we will... We won't drop because I usually put those in drawers, don't I? Lots and lots of food. That's looking pretty good.
So thirsty I can't think straight.
Yeah, don't worry. We'll sort that out in a minute. Other things we may want to drop. We'll hang on to all our fire starting stuff just for the moment. We'll sort all that out in a minute. Okay, spare bedroll. That can just go up a corner. Doesn't really matter where that goes. Spare storm lantern. Annoyingly, I'm going to have to pick that up in order to put it down, which is really quite irritating. Let's just pop these sewing kits over here. And whetstone over here as well. We've got plenty of those. And hacksaw. That can go down. And we've got some spare lantern fuel as well. In fact, lantern fuel I'll pop on here. And obviously this lantern... Annoyingly, you have to. It is a bit of a pain how the lanterns work. I can't even switch between the 2 different lanterns. It's just going to use that one lantern unless I go into the menu and equip it. Because I just want to put the spare lantern down. Okay, so there we are. So, clothing, I think I'll keep in this cabinet over here. Simply because... I don't think there's really a wardrobe in here. I don't know if they're going to be... Are they going to be any better? We'll find out. We'll have a look. Okay, good. So we have pretty much got ourselves sorted. It is going dark. So we started to build up our stash. So let's go and sleep. I know there is a wardrobe in here actually. But I'll try and keep it all in that room if I can. So it's all in one place. Right, so let's go and eat, drink and be merry and sleep then. So we need to eat first. That's the little condition icon now, by the way, the little snowflake that used to be a more defined star. That's the condition item. So let's eat our lowest condition items first. And we're going to drink these sodas as well. Because these offer benefits for both calories and thirst. That should do us. So let us sleep. Let's set ourselves for 8 hours and see how we get on. We're pretty tired, so it may well work this. Let's see if we can sleep through that. And obviously, it's going to build our condition back up. As always, we're in pretty good condition right now. There we go. We've survived for 1 day, 9 hours and 47 of our finest minutes. It is the middle of the night. We are heading towards daylight now. I am going to just drink a little bit more. In fact, I'm going to have another soda. So that'll give me a few extra calories as well. Just so I don't get dehydrated as I try and sleep a little bit more. I don't know how much further I'm going to be able to sleep. Probably not very far actually. Let's just try an hour and see if it'll let us do an hour. See if we can do that 1 hour. Yes, it did let us do that, but I think we're going to have to pass time now for a few hours. Let's pass time for 4 hours. Now, I've noticed you used to be able to cancel passing time. You now can't. So I got quite used to putting a lot of hours in and then just cancelling it if things went awry. Now you can't do that, which kind of sucks, actually. Because in real life, I suppose if you were passing time, you could just stop whatever you were doing to pass time if anything happened. Okay, so we're in pretty good condition. We're just coming up to daybreak, or I think we're actually mid-morning now, to be perfectly honest with you. So we're actually in pretty good condition. Yeah, we are. We're in pretty good condition. So let's go and do a bit more looting. We've got a fair bit of kit here. Let's head outside, and we shall go and do some more looting around the houses around here. And we can also do a little bit more map making, but I assume it does affect you when the weather's bad or when the visibility's not very good, and things like that as to how well your map making will work. So we may leave it till it's cleared a little bit before we try doing any more map making. Oh, let's pick up some sticks. Let's just grab some sticks, because I haven't really done very much wood gathering yet. So normally it's the very first thing I do, and I really haven't. I think the problem is I got really excited by the update, and I kind of went a bit haywire and I didn't do things properly. Let's just try and catch back up again. Okay, so let's go into this house and see what we've got in here to loot. Bring it over to our main base house. Oh, this one's got a fireplace in it as well. I didn't realise this one had a fireplace in, unless that's new, which it could be. So actually, you could use either of these two houses as a base. Let's get this, get the storm lantern lit, so we can just see where we're looking. Look around the corners, make sure we don't miss anything. Yes, you can actually use either of these as a house. Oh, and we have there's some boots and some lantern fuel. Anything under the bench? No. Anything under the table? No. I've just got some firewood. We have another sewing kit. Whoops. Oh no. No. There we go. Right. Okay. What we got through here? This is the kitchen. Let's have a quick look through the cupboards.
I can always use more food.
Pinnacle peaches. Another soda. Obviously, we're in stalker mode, so the amount of things you find is fairly limited, and obviously the game's been rebalanced over the years, and you don't find anywhere near as much stuff as you used to. In fact, we're not finding massive amounts of stuff at all. There's some newsprint though. Anything in the fridge and the freezer?
Can't have too much water.
That's very true. Okay, so that's this room done and this room done. So let's go into the bedroom. Nothing in the cabinets. Anything on the shelves? We've got some wool socks there. Nothing else. Anything under the bed? Because Hinterland is sneaky like that. Quick look through the drawers. So pretty standard early game. Trying to build up our base. Staying relatively close to base though, so we're not.
That'll come in handy.
We're not going too far afield. We haven't really got the resources to go too far afield right now. Clothing mainly. We're going to get very cold very quickly at the moment, so we want to build up some more decent clothing. Because as it stands, we don't actually have an outer layer. Whoops. Let's just extinguish the storm lantern. And the reason for that is that I'm going to break down the curtains into cloth from this house, which of course I can use for clothing repairs, and I can use to make bandages. Always comes in handy, so we're going to do that. I can't break down the shower curtain though, but then they're usually plastic, so that's fair enough. Okay, so I think we've pretty much done this house. Very, very little left in here. Okay, good. So I think we've pretty much done this one. So let's head back out and head back to base. and go and drop off the little bits and pieces that we've picked up. Get our base nice and established before we try going any further. Still looking it's looking relatively clear. We've got a couple of wolves over there, but we're not doing too badly. Let's head over to the house we're using, which is the one with the little porch balcony thing. It also has a side entrance that we can go in through. So we shall do that. There we go. So, have we got excess water? Are we carrying excess water that we can get rid of? I think we probably are. I can't scroll up and down in these menus. It's really annoying. 1, 2, 3 litres of water. Let's get rid of that. So that's all nice and stored. I think we probably are carrying excess food now. So let's just see if we can't thin out our food that we're actually carrying a little bit. Transfer it all. There we go. Possibly. Oh no, there we are. That's alright, that's cool. Yep, so we've got plenty of food, so we've stashed some food in the container. So that's good. In here then, have we got any stuffs that we can drop? So, tools and equipment. Obviously we have cloth and we have bandages. We've got lantern fuel, we can drop those. We've got quite a lot of flares actually, so we can probably drop a couple of those. Rifle ammunition, I've just realised we don't need to be carrying that around with us. And sewing kit, we may as well drop that as well. So that's quite a lot of stuff on the floor, so let's sort ourselves out. Lantern fuel and that kind of stuff I'm keeping. Actually, no, let's not keep it there. Well, let's keep it over here. That all makes sense. So fire and light, we're going to keep over there. Flares, I'm going to keep with my tools. Because that's what I tend to count them as. So these are tools. And rifle ammunition. Well, I would keep it with weapons, but I haven't got any. I'll just drop it there for now. I'm sure there was something else. Yeah, we've got more lantern fuel. We've got quite a bit of lantern fuel. We're doing okay for lantern fuel. And we've got another sewing kit over here as well. So we're starting to establish ourselves a little bit. Get ourselves a little stash sorted out. Let's just pick up these clothes. Now, I put them in this cupboard, didn't I? So let's just go back into the clothing system and just drop those 2 clothes away. And we just wanted to have a quick look at what we're carrying, see if what we've now got is any better than what we've already got in our listing. And I think the answer is probably not massively. We've got some new wool socks we can swap. We can swap for trail boots. Interestingly, the trail boots are less warm, but they are more waterproof. So I think I'm going to swap for trail boots. And gloves, the ones we're wearing, strangely, are better, so we shall keep those. So let's get rid of the ones we're not going to be using. I suspect they're probably only better because of condition, but we shall see. And same probably goes for these mittens, actually. Let's get rid of that, and let's get rid of that, and let's get rid of that. And there we go, so that's our clothing loadout. So let's have a quick look, see if there's anything else lurking around in here that we don't need to be carrying around with us. We've got quite a lot of fire starter material now. Let's just do a little bit of housekeeping. I've realised I've overshot this video very slightly. We'll just do a little bit of housekeeping, then we'll call it quits. So we can drop these matches. We don't need to be carrying quite so many of those. Tinder plugs. We've got another one of those to break down. Let's just harvest that. And we are looking in really, really good shape to start this playthrough off with. So let's just pop these matches that we dropped up onto the shelf with the others. And there we are. So we're in really good shape to start this playthrough. We've started to gather our supplies together. We've looted the gas station. We've looted the house next door to us. We're going to loot the other houses around the town site. Then we're going to head across to the 2 islands, and there's a couple of other isolated cabins we can go to, and start to gather materials, start to gather supplies, and get ourselves ready to explore a bit further afield. But right now, I'm going to say thank you very much for watching, and I shall see you again very soon for some more Faithful Cartographer. I shall see you again very, very soon.